Coretec was created in 1998. It specializes in energy and industrial utilities. It was taken over by its employees as a worker cooperative in June 2013.
Baril et condensat, tu as choisi de le mettre où en définitive?
Baril et vapeur ici, baril et condensat en vis-à-vis avec l'autre.
On va pouvoir passer entre les deux?
Oui, on va l'accrocher juste après la garde-corps ici.
I didn't really wish to sell the company quickly. From 2009-2010, I was approached by groups who wanted to take over the company. I always kept my closest employees, including Vincent Chevet, up to date. And then Vincent came back to me and spoke about the worker cooperative and the possible opportunity it was, and that by coming together, they would be able to take over the company. For me, the takeover was something I had in mind for a long time. I started my professional life here in the company. I am involved in it. In mulling this idea, the penny dropped following the meeting with the worker cooperatives. The obvious idea that I immediately saw was the possibility for as many people in the company as possible to be involved in the project and to build a truly collective project. And also the possibility of implementing a management style that is more participative and cooperative than plain management. That is, it is more about managing a team and animating it, rather than traditional management. And that is something that I have been searching for, because I saw myself more leading a collective group and managing it less. From the moment that you transfer to your employees, and you know them well, it is extremely reassuring. It's comforting. It means that the company that you created will be sustainable and that it will continue in the same spirit, which would hardly have been the case if it was transferred to a group. We benefited from the full support of the Regional Union of Worker Cooperatives in France, which I think is really an added value. This was an important element for the success of the project. It's easy to convert a business into a cooperative, and on the contrary, it's easier to convert or take over a company as a cooperative than the traditional setup, because you do not have to go through a holding to be able to take over the company. You can directly convert the company that has been taken over into a cooperative. I did not know much about worker cooperatives. I knew what you hear in the media, which is that worker cooperatives are often created when businesses are struggling. Meanwhile, I learned that this wasn't the case, and that there were wonderful takeovers that occurred through the cooperative movement. The worry that you sometimes hear from transferers who come to discuss the sale of their company to their employees with us is that they think that they will have to sell off their company cheaply. But this is completely false, because beyond the technical support that we have at the cooperative movement level, we also created financial tools that could complement employees' contribution to the company's capital, to ensure the takeover is done at market price. Why I stayed as an employee was not an obligation, but there was a support aspect. They wanted me to stay on some time to support them a bit, for me to be there when there were one or two questions that arose, and to take advantage of my experience. And moreover, I wanted to teach them a few things. In particular, as far as business is concerned, from my experience, relationships, I could still provide them with an added plus. I've seen a significant increase in the turnover, of around 40%, which is obviously not due only to change in status. But nevertheless, the results are there. And the strong motivation of the team has also contributed to this strong increase. In hindsight, I can say that transferring a company as a cooperative is easy. You get a lot of support. If I had a piece of advice for those considering transferring or taking over a company, it would be to feel free to contact experts, for them to assess if it's possible to do this project. It isn't necessarily the solution that applies to all cases, but it is a real solution that could work and is very advantageous.